So, good evening, all. Okay, today our topic starts with the Abstract Window Toolkit, AWT. Hmm. So, first we will go through the how the AWT will work. Okay, so Abstract Window Toolkit is nothing but whenever we want to handle the different types of GUI environments, and whenever we want to create the GUI environment, or whenever you want to create a different types of user interfaces. Okay, then we require the abstract window toolkit. So which provides us the different ways to draw the things on the your GUI window and also to create the GUI interfaces. Okay. So windowing toolkit is nothing but whatever the controls or whatever the components which we require to create the GUI components, those all will be available as a collection of a library. Okay, that collection of a library is called as our abstract window toolkit. Okay, and next is our these components can also be called as heavyweight controls. Okay, why? Because whenever you are loading that particular related class, okay, then it takes a more space and it takes a more time to load that particular class. Okay, so that we will call it as a heavyweight class. Okay. And this Java AWT package contains the different types of controls. Okay, those controls are like text fields, labels, text area, radio button, checkbox, choice, and list box. Okay, these are the some example controls. Okay, apart from that, we have lot other controls which we can use for creating our GUI components. Okay. So some of our example components are like this. Okay, like this is a button, and we have some controls like file, edit, view, favorites, like menus. And for window, we'll have a title bar and menu bar. And whenever we want to select the multiple option, that is one of the option from the multiple available options, then we can use the combo box. And we also have the scroll bars within a window whenever we are required to move the data from one place to another place, or whenever we want to show the more information. Okay, then we can use the scroll bars to scroll the window to the down or to the right or left. Okay. So next is this is like the controls which are available within our AWT. So the main class is the object class. So where we can use the object as a base class for all the classes. And next is the derived class is the component class. Okay. So from the object, there is another class which is called as a container class is also derived. So that is from the component itself, there is a container class is derived. Okay. And from the component class, the classes which are derived are all our GUI controls related classes like button, label, checkbox, choice box, list box, scroll bar, radio buttons, and combo boxes. Those all are derived from the our component class. So from the container class, whatever the classes which we can use as the window or which we can use as the container to handle these classes, handle these components, and handle the events on the components. Okay, those all are called as the container classes. Okay, those container classes is one is a window class and another one is the panel class. From the window class, there are the two classes are derived. One is the frame and another one is the dialog class. And from the panel, there is a class derived is the applet class. Okay. So out of these all container classes, we generally use the panel, applet, frame, and dialog and window. We rarely use these two classes. But frame, applet, panel, we frequently use these three classes especially. So frame is especially for whenever you want to create a standalone application. Like say for example, you want to create an application which can run from your command prompt. Okay. So then we can use the frame. Frame can be used as a dialog box. Okay, that is say for example, If I want to show that whenever my data is closed, whenever I just entered my data and I want to close the window, then I want to show a small dialog box as do you want to really close the window, or you want to exit from the window, or you want to save the data. So this type of information generally will show as a separate dialog box. So that type of a dialog boxes also we can create with the help of a frames. Another thing is we can use our command prompt to run the frame and to display our frame window. Okay, so that is the one advantage of the frames. And applets is especially for whenever you want to create a web pages. That is using our Java, the first web page creation is allowed by the applets. Okay, that is just like this applet is just like a HTML page. So whenever now at present we are using a HTML for creating of a web pages. But actually in a previous, with the Java without having a HTML also you can create a web pages with the help of applets. But mostly we don't use the applets for web pages because this is a heavyweight controls and heavyweight classes. So we generally doesn't use for the applets for the web pages because whenever we are transferring the information from one system to another system or one place to another place in a remote, so the data is to be lightweight and data is to be less memory and data is to be less content fit, then only we can easily transfer the data. So applets is especially the main aim of applets is to create the web pages. Okay. So we can create a GUI applications with the help of frames as a standalone application or applet as a web application, web page. Okay. Another one, the panel is actually like we can call it as a simple container. So it doesn't have its own action and it doesn't have its own appearance and it doesn't have any menus or title bars any other. So applet generally have like a window. Okay, it has its own menu bar. It has its own status bar. It has its own menu like restore and other type of menus. And we also have minimize, maximize and close buttons here. And we also have default scroll bars here. Okay, here you can show your required controls. Similarly, the frame also similar like that. You have a border for the frame window and you have a status bar for the frame and you have a menu bar and title bar for the frame and you'll have the close and minimize and maximize buttons. You have a title and you have the menu, window menu. Okay, these all will be there for the frame and applet. But for the panel, we don't have any these type of features. But panel can also be used as a container. Okay, it's an invisible container. Okay, so this is especially used for whenever you want to group the controls. So grouping of a controls is nothing but say, for example, I want to make a one particular set of a controls as a one particular group and which are related to the one particular purpose. Okay, say for example, if I'm creating an application form of a student, okay, then I want to have one part of my dialogue as for the education information of the student. And another part of my dialogue is for cultural information or co-curricular information or achievements related information. Okay. Another part as the personal information. Say whenever you want to group these particular type of controls, here I have some controls to take their qualification and CGPA, school name or college name and year of passing. These all I want to have in a one box and I want to have the sports they are participated and the place they have got, the prizes and others. And is they are participated in any workshops or conferences or any others. If they got any awards, okay, those related information I want to take in another box. Then you can use the panel. So this is the one panel which will groups the one particular set of controls. And this is another panel which contains another set of controls. Okay, just you can group them and you can add a simple border. Okay, you cannot have any close button title bars, and these all will not be there. Just you can use as a box. Okay, you can group all the controls. Okay, but actually this is the base class for the our applet class. Okay, but applet have all the features like a application, but panel doesn't have those all features. Okay, so we frequently use the panel for basically for grouping of a controls. Okay. Okay, next is related to the objects related to the events. Okay. So if this is object class is actually we already got through the base class of the all the classes is the object class. Okay. Okay. So the topmost class of all the classes is the our object class, and component classes which contains all the components related to the controls or visual components, which is the base class for the all the components and container classes. Okay. And also we have some default methods in the component class. The same methods are used for our remaining classes of a components, like add method for adding of a component, set size method, set layout method. Whenever you want to specify the size of a component, we have a set size method, set layout method, and set visible, whether it is a true or false. We can display the control or not, and remove the control whenever you want to remove the control from a particular container. Set the bounds of the control, like you can specify the position of the control on the window. Okay. So using these methods, we can maximum we can manage our control on the window. Okay. Next is the container class, okay, which contains some of methods like set font. Say if you want to change your font displayed on your window in a different font, like you want to set your own font for the displaying of a text on the window, or if you want to specify the layouts actually we'll discuss later. That is, layouts is the arrangement of a controls on the window. Okay, that decides by the layout. Okay, that also you can specify with the help of a set layout method. And next is the panel class. So panel class we already checked with, like whenever you want to group the particular set of controls, okay, then we can use the panel. So generally we can use the panel for menus also. So like whenever we want to create menu options, okay, with the different menu items. In the generally the menus also will have a panels. Say for example, if I'm using this word window, whenever you open the file menu, you have first four options are home, new, open, save. Then there is a separator. And then again, you have a four or five controls. That is, these all are the actually controls. The separator which we are seeing, that will create it as a panel, the separation between the two sets of controls. Okay. And so applet is a derived from the panel class. Okay. Applet is generally used for our web pages. Okay. So at present, whatever the version of a Java we are using, that is JDK 22. So this will not support the applets. So we cannot execute or we cannot create the applets. So just we can create it as create and compile it, but we are not able to execute it because our browsers are not supporting this type of applets. And at the same time, there is a special browser which is provided by the Java is a applet viewer, and this related class is also not available in the present versions. So if you want to try with the applets, we need to have JDK 1.3. So then only we can do with this type of applet classes. But apart from this applet, we can use with the next version of a classes is like a swing package. There's a package which is advanced than that of these applet packages. This is a swing package. And using that, we can do the applets related classes also. Okay. Just we need to have an idea of it. Okay. So that we are learning it at present. So for creating of a applet, we required the two packages. So one package is the main package, is a applet package, which contains the applet class. And another package is the AWT package. This is for especially whenever you want to draw anything on the applet or whenever you want to show any control on the applet, then we require the AWT package. Okay. So first thing is we need to write a applet tag. Then we need to create a class which extends from the applet class. Then we need to use our lifecycle methods. Okay. So within this applet class, we need to have the class must be public. Okay. Say for example, this is a small example window of the applet. Okay, so we have a window and we have some 3 buttons and we have some drawing area and we have some status bar which contains some text. Okay. So window class is also similarly like panel. There is no borders for the window and there is no menu bars and there is no appearance for the window. So we can also use this window also as a dialog, or we can use as a, just like a panel, we can group the controls. Okay. Frame, we already, yesterday class, we worked with the frame. Just we created a small window and we specified the title for the frame and we specified our visible property, sorry, size of a frame window, and we displayed the frame. Similarly, we also have different other methods like we can specify the background color of the window and frame. We can specify the foreground color for the frame. And foreground color is generally for whatever the text you are showing on the frame. Okay, that is used with the foreground color. Background color is the window color. Okay, on the drawing area of the window, we can show with our background color. Okay. Okay, whenever we want to create a frame, so these are the methods and constructors we can use. So one is a frame constructor and without any arguments. Another one is our constructor with the title. And next is a set size method where we can specify the height and width of the frame window. And set size we can also use with the dimension class also. Okay, generally we'll use with the set size. Okay. Another one, whenever you want to show or hide the frame, then you can use either set visible method with the true or false as the value, or we can use a show method also. Yesterday we used with the show method. Similarly, you can use a set visible method also. So for creating a frame class, first we need to create a class which extends from the frame class. Then we'll create our main method and we'll write our required code to display the frame. And apart from this, we need to create a constructor for the frame. So whenever you want to display any controls on the frame window, then we need to create our constructor method also. Yeah, otherwise not required. The constructor method is not required. Whenever you want to show any controls or whenever you want to do any displaying of objects or anything before showing the window, then we need to create our constructor method. Okay. This is a simple frame class example. Okay. So they have created the class as a first frame. And here the constructor, first frame constructor. And within that, they are creating a frame class object, then creating a one button class or button object, and specifying a bounds for the button, and then adding a button and size for the frame. and layout as the null for the frame and set visible as the true for the our frame window. Okay. So that it displays the our frame window. Okay. And this is the another way which we actually used it. Okay, that is creating a class which extends from the frame class. And we'll create an object for the frame within the main. And then within the main also we can specify the size and we can specify the layout and visible. Otherwise, we can write in the constructor also. Any one is okay. Either you can write in the main or you can write in the constructor. So these are the actual controls we have. So before to this, just we'll create a one small frame program with a setting of a background and foreground colors on the frame. Okay. Okay, tomorrow all of you are present for the 11 to, sorry, 10 to 12 class, 10 to 12 lab. So we'll be do the lab itself. Okay. So all of you need to be present uh, with the laptop. I think how many of you had a laptop once? Any CR can collect how many of your classmates has the laptop. Okay, so that in the online itself we will do the lab out. Okay, so otherwise, if the more than 30%, if they had a sorry more than 50% of the students has the laptop, then we'll do the lab. Okay, if it is not, then we will take a class itself. Okay, lab or class, it's the same because I will be type the program, the same program you need to be type. Otherwise, I will give us some program and you need to type and submit it. Okay. So we'll do the program is create a frame to display text and set foreground and background colors.